The Cigar Nerds Podcast.
Yeah, I guess I'm back. And welcome back to another Tactical Tuesday. So, today we're going to, I'm all dressed up in the suit because it was only appropriate for this, because today we are reviewing the John Wick 2 Glock 34 Combat Master from Taran Tactical. This thing, I'm a big nerd, especially action movies, so you know I had to buy one of these. This starts off life as in you can get this done to any of your guns, but if you want the John Wick package, it's a Glock 34. Gen 3 Glock 34, specifically for the John Wick 2 package.
I can wholeheartedly endorse the new breed of Austrians. Glock 34 and 26. Recontoured grips, flared magwell for easier reloads, and I know you'll appreciate the custom porting.
Yeah, this thing started off life as a Gen 3 Glock 34. It is clear, and a ton of work has gone into this, so it's definitely not a stock Glock 34 anymore. Let's just kind of go through each of the things that they do. First off, we have this super large magazine well with the TTI logo engraved in it. Then we have a full wrap stippling all around with a kind of a accelerator pad there, so you got somewhere to stick your thumb. And then there is all the slide engravings on both sides. You also get, Taran logo engraving there, and a carbon fiber backplate also with the Taran logo. The barrel is this what they call their ion bonding coating on it. You've got fiber optic sights, blacked out rear sight, some kind of lightning cuts here and here, and also new guide rod and spring for reduced recoil, whatever, and an alpha Timony trigger that gives this thing a 2-pound trigger pull. I mean, just look at this. Yeah, that is fucking smooth. And then it also will come with 2 of these +5 base plates for your standard Glock mags. So before we get out of the range and show you how this thing runs, let's kind of go over some of the pros and the cons, and any issues I may have had. First off, the pros, there's a ton of work that goes into this gun, and it is, I gotta say, it's probably the smoothest shooting gun I own. I'm absolutely in love with this thing. Also, you see all these little ports and cuts? It takes a ton of weight out of the front of the gun, so your point of balance is like right here at your grip. So when you're shooting this thing, most guns, when you fire, slide goes back, so you get that muzzle lift, but as that slide slams forward, you'll sometimes get like just a little bit of a muzzle drop before it goes back up to your proper point of aim. But this thing, it basically just returns back to your point of aim. I mean, it's just, it just recoils and resets so smoothly that there is not a lot of adjustment between follow-up shots. It's like, as long as you got a good grip, as soon as that thing recoils, it just drops right back to where you had it before you pulled the trigger, which is beautiful. All right, downsides of said gun. The only complaints I have is, am I glad I did it? Yes. Would I do it again? Probably not. But if you haven't done it yet, you should probably do it at least once. Yeah, because one is the cost. I mean, there's a ton of work that goes into this, so I understand, like, the price point. But the price point has gone up in recent years. Like, literally, I think the price on this thing has gone up $300-$400 since what I bought it for. Because I was thinking about, remember in John Wick 2, he gets the Glock 34 Combat Master and the Glock 26 combat carry as a backup gun. I have a Glock 26. I thought about getting the matched John Wick set, but I'm like, I don't really want to spend that kind of money on a Glock 26. Like I said, I did it once. Probably won't do it again. And 2 is the time. As of filming this, the turnaround time on one of these, so basically you buy the pistol, and then there's some guns he has that, are in stock, but for most of these, like, Combat Masters, it's really a gunsmithing package. So you send them your gun, and then they'll send you back one of these. So as of filming this, turnaround time, it took me about 13 months to get this back. So pretty much you got to buy it and then forget you own it, and eventually it'll show up. So if time and cost doesn't bother you, then yes, this is like, taking your old beat up Chevy and building a fucking hot rod out of it. It is awesome. The only issues I've had, and I think it may have been partially my fault, I'm not sure. So when you send these in, you can send in your magazines and they will install the base pads for you. If you don't send the magazines, the base pads will be in your box when you get your gun back. Now, when I first started using this, it came with just the base pad extension and not a replacement spring. With the +5 extensions, you almost need to have a stronger magazine spring. So since I didn't send them the magazines, I got just these base pads. So the first couple times shooting this, it had enough spring strength to feed all the rounds, but it wouldn't lock the slide back on empty. Now, I like these extensions so much that I bought a couple extra ones, and the kits I bought from Taran came with the spring as part of the kit. So I don't know if they just forgot to put springs in with mine, but I had to order replacement springs for this, and it's run flawlessly since I put the stronger springs in it. Like I said, the base pads I ordered without the gun came with the springs. So I don't know why I didn't get one with this package. Maybe if I'd set my magazines in, they would already installed it. But I reached out to customer service like, hey, was there supposed to be springs in this box? And I never got a response. So I just went ahead and bought new springs because they're, I don't know, I think it's like $5-6 for a couple springs. It wasn't no big deal. It's just kind of a pain in the ass. But other than that, this thing has run, and since I replaced the springs, has run flawlessly. So let's get out the range and show you what this thing do. All right, so welcome to the range portion of today's review. We're going to start off by shooting a little steel. See how this Combat Master does on the plate rack. Pretty good so far. Let's reset and do that again. All right, now I'll get the shot timer. Let's see how quickly I can clear this rack, because this is probably the smoothest shooting gun I own, and I'm not great at the plates. 731, not a clean run. Let's try it again. See if I can get a clean run this time. About the same. Still getting used to this trigger. It definitely breaks a lot quicker than I'm normally used to, because this has got the Alpha Timney trigger, however you pronounce that, which is like a 2-pound trigger. It is stupid light. Next up, let's do a little do some draws. See how if I can get this, fully John Wick out. Now we're gonna kind of see how fast I can get this thing out and on target. .8, a little slow. Let's try that again. .7. Getting slower. 1.3. 1.3. 1.2. That's been about the fastest. I'm definitely not full John Wick with this thing yet. Oh, that was sloppy. Let me do that one more time. Yeah, 1.3, 1.2. I'm not sub-second draw yet. All right, one more thing. Let's just see kind of how fast this thing runs if I just try to mag dump it, because it is stupid fast with this trigger. So. Yeah, some good shit. Okay, kind of the last thing I want to show y'all before I give you kind of my final thoughts on this is just how flat shooting this thing is. Like, when you got a good grip, there's almost no recoil. I mean, it stays pretty flat. So I'm gonna try to get you as close on the slide as I can, just to show you how little muzzle flip this thing has. Yeah, this is probably one of the smoothest shooting handguns I own. Definitely worth the money. And would I do it again? Probably not, because it takes a really long time to get one of these back. So you pretty much have to send it off and forget you own it, and eventually it'll show back up. But with the trigger and just they take so much weight out of the front of the gun, like all the balance sits right here in your hand. This is probably one of the smoothest shooting competition guns that I've ever owned. I mean, this is definitely the prize of my collection at this point. But that's all I got for you this week. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you next time.